Christians originally celebrated March the 25th as the birth of Jesus. Is this true? And why the change to December the 25th?
Yeah, that's a pretty typical example of the cult changes. As Ralph Ellis shows, and there was a great constellational movement. This is known to astrologers, processional movement. That's an example of it. That internal fightings that can even bring down empires are based in the movement of the planets and the movement of the stars, right? Well, it didn't stop there. The sign of Virgo, which is up there in like September, used to be the birthday of the solar king in some cults. So as a cult subsumes another cult, it has to show difference from that cult. Or if that cult starts to bring in elements of Mithraism in, or something else, or Druidism, it will be reflected in this kind of thing, where you can't really pin down. It was obviously Mithra that was 25th of December, but as Mithra worship was appropriated by Christianity, by Constantine, and Constantine's early bishops of Rome, they really liked Mithra. So they're sitting on a giant temple to Mithras. Well, Mithra was born on December 25th, but a little breakaway cult or another little, later thing that happens, they go, no, we don't like that. We don't want to be associated with that. So we're going to have another birthday. It's John the Baptist who is really connected with March, because the constellation appears on the at the sign of Aries, not the body, but just the head. So when you get the story of the severed head of John the Baptist, and then the woman who's meant to be Salome or somebody, a female who's in charge of that, yeah, that's because Virgo is seen in the heavens the same night. There's a dynamic goes on. So it was known as the virgin, or the female who had the head in her hand. It's all astrotheology. And the same way that then you have the other ones. So it's a change. My answer is the change of cults. And some people preferring one chapter of the great book, going, that's my favorite, and wanting to take those symbols and say, right, those are our tutelary symbols. And then you get these changeovers, but they happen for various reasons. But the calendar has always been moving. There's even been signs like Libra that were added very late to the zodiac, right? Really late. It was the claws of Scorpio that later became the pans of Libra as they divided the sign, and the shapes of the signs and the width of the signs. It's why there's different kinds of astrology. Why is there Vedic? Why is there sidereal? Why is there Western tropical, right? It has to do with the differences over the sizes of the constellations. Sidereal astrology tries to be more loyal, but they've got terrible flaws in doing that. And Western astrology says, no, we're just going to make it all homogenized, and they've got issues by doing that. So there's no perfect, homogenized astrology. And it's the same thing with these calendar dates and gods that rose up and, all the rest. It's been a very flexible thing. And again, there's the female cults. They have a 13 sign zodiac. I mean, there's no consensus at all. They judge theirs by the planet, by the moon. The moon takes 13 months, not 12, to go through the zodiac, where it takes the sun only 12. So a lunar cult or a quasi-lunar cult is going to say, yeah, well, we kind of prefer that. And then their festival days and their ritual days are based on that. And we'll never know, because we're using the solar calendar. So symbolically, it doesn't make sense when certain things happen, unless you happen to know this, and then you go, oh, well, I know why that happened on that particular date.